Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today. We are tackling something that frankly stops so many DIYers right in their tracks. We're looking at the ultimate blueprint to off-grid solar power calculation. My absolute biggest goal for us today is to completely demystify the intimidating math behind off-grid solar systems so you can stop stressing and just start building.
Look, let's be real for a second. Are you intimidated by solar math? Are you ready for off-grid freedom, but the numbers are holding you back? It is entirely normal to look at a tangled mess of volts, amps, and watt-hours and feel completely overwhelmed. It feels like this massive, immovable hurdle standing between you and your goal, right? But I promise you, by the time we wrap up this explainer, we're going to transform this complex, scary task into a really accessible, logical puzzle where every single piece just makes perfect sense. So here is our step-by-step builder's blueprint for today. 1. The solar power anatomy. 2. Calculating daily energy needs. 3. Sizing your battery bank. 4. Sizing your solar panels. And finally, number 5, controllers, inverters, and safety. Okay, let's dive right into this. Part 1. The solar power anatomy. Before we calculate literally anything, we need to meet the cast of characters making up your solar setup. First up, solar panels, or PV. Think of these as the workhorses that capture sunlight and convert it into electricity. Second is the solar charge controller, or SCC. This kind of acts like a traffic cop, regulating the power flowing from the panels into your third component, the battery. The battery is basically your storage vault for when the sun goes down. Fourth is the inverter, which performs the absolutely crucial magic trick of converting the direct current from your battery into the alternating current you need for standard household appliances. And finally, circuit breakers. These are your vital security guards protecting your entire system from overcurrent. Keep these 5 key components in the back of your mind as we move forward. Moving right along to part 2, calculating daily energy needs. The secret to building a cohesive blueprint is that we actually have to start at the very end of the line, the power outlet in your wall, to calculate your daily load. And to figure out that load, you need this foundational formula. Power in watts equals voltage multiplied by current in amps. So why does this matter? Well, if you look at the manufacturer's sticker on the back of an appliance and it only lists voltage and current, this simple formula is exactly how you uncover its true wattage. Let's anchor this math in reality. Let's say you've got a 65-watt laptop and you plan to use it for 4 hours a day. You simply multiply those two numbers together. 65 watts times 4 hours equals 260 watt-hours. Boom. That is your daily energy requirement for that single device. To get your total daily load for your entire house or your cabin, you just do this for every single appliance you plan to run and add up all those watt-hours into one big total. Part 3. Sizing your battery bank. Okay, so we know our total daily load, but we have to prepare for when the sun isn't shining. Before we go out and buy batteries, we gotta talk about your energy budget, and specifically, the tax you have to pay. No electrical system is 100% efficient. Actually, scratch that. Pretty much nothing is 100% efficient. You're going to lose power as it travels through the wiring, through the charge controller, into the battery, and out through the inverter. Because of this, you must take your total daily load that we just calculated and add a buffer of up to 35% to account for all those system losses. This gives you your true, final daily energy requirement. Now, what's really interesting here is the concept of depth of discharge, or DOD. To maximize a battery's lifespan, you just cannot drain it completely flat. It will absolutely ruin it. If you're using traditional lead-acid batteries, the recommended depth of discharge is only 50%, meaning you can only safely use half of the battery's total capacity. Just half. But if you step up to lithium batteries, they can handle being discharged 80% or even more. This makes a massive, massive difference in how many physical batteries you actually need to buy to meet your needs. So how do we find the exact size of the battery bank we need? Your buffered daily load feeds directly into 2 super simple steps. Step 1, adjust for that depth of discharge. If you're using lead acid, simply take your daily watt-hour requirement and multiply it by 2. Step 2, convert that number to amp hours because, well, that's how batteries are sized and sold in the real world. You do this by dividing your adjusted watt-hours by your system voltage, like 12 volts, for example. That leaves you with the exact amp-hour capacity you need to go out and purchase.
Part 4. Sizing your solar panels.
We have our load and we have our storage figured out, so we're moving backward up the chain to the energy source itself. The critical number here is 3.5. Solar panel requirements depend heavily on sun hours, which is the average intensity of sunlight in your specific geographic area. While a lot of places might average 4 hours a day over the year, using a conservative 3.5 daily sun hours provides a really crucial safety margin.
Relying on this slightly lower number ensures your system keeps running effectively even on those cloudy, gloomy days. And this brilliantly illustrates how simple the final panel calculation is. You just take your final daily requirement in watt hours and divide it by those 3.5 sun hours. The resulting number gives you the absolute minimum solar panel wattage you need. So if that number is 1,000 watts and you buy 250 watt panels, you need 4 panels. It really is that straightforward.
Part 5. Controllers, Inverters, and Safety.
This right here is the climax of our blueprint, where we size the brains and the brawn to safely route all this electricity we've been talking about. First, the brains, the solar charge controller. You generally have 2 technology choices. A PWM controller is simpler. To size it, you look at the panel label for the short circuit current, or ISC, and multiply it by a 1.25 safety factor. On the flip side, an MPPT controller is much more efficient, but it uses an entirely different formula. For MPPT, you divide the total wattage of your entire solar array by your battery system voltage. It's the exact same component purpose, but very different math depending on the tech you choose.
Next up is the brawn, the inverter. Now, you need to be very aware of a hidden trap here called surge current. Motorized appliances like refrigerators or electric fans require a massive spike of power just to get their motors turning in the first place. Because of this, you've got to multiply their running wattage by at least 3 when choosing your inverter size. For all your other continuous loads, just add up the wattage and toss in a 20% efficiency allowance. Oh, and a vital tip from our source material, always look for a pure sine wave or PSW type inverter. It ensures better efficiency and prevents damage to your sensitive electronics. Finally, we gotta talk about safety. Circuit breakers protect your expensive components from literally going up in smoke. The vital multiplier here again is 1.25. You take the maximum current flowing through any given wire and multiply it by a 1.25 safety factor to size your breaker. And please, remember this golden rule. Always use DC-rated breakers for the solar and battery side and AC-rated breakers for the output side of your inverter. Do not mix those up. And honestly, there you have it. You now possess the complete, logical blueprint to off-grid solar calculations, which leaves me with one final exciting question for you. What is the very first appliance you are going to power on your brand new off-grid system? You now have the exact formulas and the confidence to tailor a highly functional setup perfectly to your life. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope you feel empowered to start calculating. Get out there and build your off-grid freedom.